Welcome back, D1 Rejects. I'm your host, Kobe Manzo. I've got a little bit of color from West Palm Beach.
I'm your host, Tyshawn King. I got a lot of color from my mother.
And with no color in the other chair,
the captain himself,
Cade Manzo.
that boyzo.
We're like a... Nah, I'm not going to...
Yeah,
Stop
there.
Leave it alone.
Stop right there.
Let's quit while we're ahead, son.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. We took a little bit of a hiatus, I guess you could say there. Had spring break. Had a couple other things come up. So good to be back in the studio today. Episode 89. We're recording this March 13th. It is a Monday night. And really excited about our guest tonight. You guys will hear from him in a little bit. Chim Okorafor. He is an offensive lineman from Benedictine College, NAIA school, and like we said in his introduction, you'll hear in a couple minutes, the only NAIA player in the country to be selected in this inaugural USFL college draft. So really exciting time for him. Still working towards NFL opportunities and those type of things, but to have that type of, that's gotta be a confidence builder for him. So we'll talk to him about that a little bit. And you and I said it, like, just a cool dude, like a really good
ass dude, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's easy to root for sure.
Exactly. Drafted by the Michigan Panthers, the USFL team.
Even better. We can root for him there.
Exactly. If we're down there, we're gonna catch a little game at Ford Field. Maybe that'd be
a little sideline pass from Chim.
We got D1 Rejects.
Ooh.
Hey, Chim might be able to hook us up though if he's playing.
Remind me to tell y'all what Tavion told me today at Edge at the end of the podcast. We ain't gonna talk about it.
You just gonna interject.
But remind me to tell. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Remind me to tell y'all though.
Okay, man.
I'm gonna forget.
Anyways, on the
Because I told y'all
today,
already.
Yeah.
on the podcast today, the biggest news NFL wise, the Panthers trading up for the number 1 pick, and they backed up the Brinks truck for the Chicago Bears.
Thank God.
Thank God. I mean I was very genuinely surprised by that move.
I remember a certain host with a look color told me we'd never get a package like that. And look what the Lord has dropped upon us.
I just don't understand it. I
As
really
a Bears
don't
fan,
understand it.
As a child, we were pretty good. You know, Matt Forte, Devin Hester, Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Johnny. I could go on and on. At the end, the last couple of years, we've been ass. Real ass. To the point where, like, the Lions have started succeeding. And we've still been bad. Like, that's how crazy it's been.
I'll say hats off to the GM though.
Yeah, for getting that. I mean,
bro.
for convincing someone that they need to give all that up in order to get the number 1 pick.
And there's a report
crazy.
on Twitter, and we know Twitter's just like we were talking about today in our group chat. Like it's just literally a shot in the air, right? Like people really don't. We have no idea.
No,
we have no clue what's going on. It's all just said. Who said? She said. He said. You know what I mean? So like he said that the Panthers weren't budging.
They wanted to add another first instead of DJ Moore.
Yeah, and he said he wanted DJ Moore, and the Panthers didn't, and he wouldn't budge, and they said finally, like pretty much fuck it, and they just gave it to him.
That's a big part of the trade too. We'll break that down a little bit more here in a bit, but DJ Moore headlined that, a couple first-round picks, second round here, they're on there, and you're like, unreal. But moving on, the rest of free agency has been madness so far. Jalen Ramsey to Miami has been one of the bigger moves. Talk about Jimmy Garoppolo going over to the Raiders instead of Derek Carr, who is now with the Saints. And there's just been like the quarterback market has been flipped up a little bit. Lamar is staying put, only on a franchise tag though. So a little bit of drama over there in Baltimore. And finally, on the XFL side of things, the Battlehawks from St. Louis, they break the XFL attendance record. We're going to pull up some pictures from their game later on.
It was crazy.
Dude, 38,310 people.
It was crazy.
Like that, I think you understand how many bodies that is to get to a game.
If they had just played in the old, like, Rams dome, it filled it up.
For real.
There was
it's called the Dome at the New America or something. I forget the name of the stadium. But all that and more coming up in this episode. We'll get to that talk with Chim in just a second. But first, as always, you can watch this episode on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, that little red bar at the bottom of the screen, don't forget about the timestamps. Fast forward to any part of the episode that sounds somewhat relatively interesting, and then you can go from there. Otherwise, listen to the whole thing. We appreciate it. You can listen pretty much anywhere, Apple Podcasts. Listen or watch the video version on Spotify. And follow us on the socials, Twitter, D1_rejects, where we've hit over, 800 followers now?
I believe so, yeah.
Cemented our spot above 800. And then Instagram at Division1 Rejects. Also TikTok, Division1 Rejects. Got to get back on the TikTok game. But before we do any TikToking or any other type of talk, we're going to go to Chim from Benedictine College. Joining us tonight, the only NAIA player in the country to be selected in the inaugural, first ever, USFL college draft. Talked about him a couple weeks ago out of Benedictine College, Chim Okorafor. What's going on, brother? Happy to get you up here.
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Excited to talk about this.
Apparently was pretty close to getting you to come up to the UP in the first place, huh?
Yeah, March 2021, I had a visit up there because I had offers out of when I left Missouri Southern, I had an offer to go there, and I went on a visit. It was cool, but it was a little too cold for me.
I'm gonna say
It
you
was
said you came up in March, right?
yeah,
If I could turn, I could put one of these cameras towards the window, and you wouldn't be able to see much because it's blocked by snow right now. What, March 13th?
sheesh.
We got
That's
what,
crazy.
3-4 feet right now?
It snowed all day, dude.
It's decent
That's
right now.
crazy.
It's
Snow
decent.
ain't even bad. It's just cold as
It's
hell
freezing.
today.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just said it, man. That's kind of what I wanted to get you on here and talk about it. You got picked up by the Michigan Panthers, 64th overall in the draft. What was going through your head in that moment, the moments leading up to it? There's probably, I mean, we talked about really at length about how guys in your position, the end goal is obviously the NFL, but to have something like this and still to be recognized at that level, it's still got to be special, man. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so it's honestly a blessing. I give all the thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because, like, I don't know, it was just out of the ordinary. It was crazy. So, basically, I don't know, like I've been trying to like contact like the whole time since January. I've been trying to contact like agents to help me out to start talking to
Yep.
NFL teams for me and stuff, and it was just not working out. I couldn't find an agent. And then so I just started working out for a pro day, like getting ready for my pro day. And then one day my coach, my O-line coach from Benedictine calls me and tells me that this one of his friends, one of his old friends, is a USFL scout for the USFL. So I was like, all right, bet, like that's cool. So he told me to send my film over to the
Did
scout.
you know much about the league before this conversation, or probably nothing?
I didn't know anything about it. Like I knew the USFL, but I knew nothing about it.
I
So
got you.
I was like, okay, that's cool. Like if that's like a backup plan, if I don't get to the NFL like I want to, like I could use that as a stepping stool. So I was like, all right, let me see if he's gonna be interested. I sent him my film and I had no response, like no response from him on like through email. I was like, dang. I was like, dang, here we go, like, all right, whatever. So I kind of forgot about that.
That's funny.
And then like a week before the draft, my coach calls, my O-line coach from Benedictine calls me, Coach Pops, and he was talking to me. He was like, oh, I just talked to the USFL scout and they said they liked you. He was like, they're gonna put you on their draft board, but this is not, he was like, don't take it, like don't be like all excited. Like he's just saying. So I was like, all right, bet. And he was like, he was just telling me what they were talking about and how they want to use me, like help me develop and stuff like that. Cause I've only been playing football for 2 years. So
that's right.
Yeah. So he was like, they're going to take a chance on, they might take a chance on you. So I was like, all right, bet, that sounds cool. So then I didn't know nothing about, I didn't even know they had a draft. So I was confused. I was like, they have a draft board? Like what? So, yeah, that was pretty cool. But so then the day of the draft, like I did a little bit of research because my trainer was like, find out when the draft is, like what's happening, like like all that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna find out. Found it out. I started watching the draft, and then I see they're picking all these D1 dudes, like big D1 dudes. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm gonna get drafted, bro. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna stop listening. Like around the fourth round, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, and I was working out too. I had a workout session with my trainer.
Okay.
So I was in the workout session, like looking through the picks and all that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. So I just focused on my workout.
You put the phone down?
Yeah, I just put my phone down.
No
and
way.
I was like, all right, whatever. And I texted my coach, one of my old coaches, my old trainers, and I was like, yeah, they're only picking D1 dudes. I was like, I'm losing all hope by like at this point. I was like, just go back to the works, like get back in the lab. And then they were telling me, nah, don't give up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever. And then next thing you know, like literally 5 minutes after that, I get a call from a random number. And I'm like, wow, that's like, I was like, and it was a Michigan number too. I'm like, oh shoot, like, all right. And I like picked it up. And then the coach was like, oh, is this Chim? And I was like, yeah, this is Chim. He was like, this is coach blah, blah, blah of the Panthers, Michigan Panthers and the USFL. And we're going to draft you right now. And I was like, whoa, like I was in shock. I was like, that's
still
crazy.
Mid-workout or what?
Yes, I was still working out. Like literally the workout ended after that call though. Cause I was like, I was freaking out. I was like, what the heck?
I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
hey, congrats, bro. Now get on the line. Like, right, we ain't done. We ain't done yet.
Literally. So I was excited. I called my mom and I told her, and she was like, "Oh, really? That's cool." Like, And then that's like, I was just like happy because like, I've been working hard trying to get to this point. Like I got in contact with an agent, but we hadn't really signed, and I
Yep.
was doing stuff by myself basically. But the agent I got, she helped me a little. She started helping me, but this USFL contact was through my coach. So like,
Gotcha.
I'm really like, I was thankful and just blessed for having that opportunity. Honestly,
I'm gonna say shout out coach too. Got the connections, right, man?
yeah, facts.
Some you ain't even know about, and now you got an opportunity to play at the next level. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, because I think a lot of people, when they looked at the college draft and they're like, again, somewhat more casual football fans, they're like, haven't heard of most of these guys, right? Why aren't you drafting the Bryce Youngs, the Will Andersons, whatever? And you're like, there's such a weird dynamic with this because you're picking the best of the guys you don't think are going to be picked up by the NFL, right? So there's a weird dynamic in that. And then also like the rights to the players. A guy like you, your aspirations are to play in the NFL, right? So now in your shoes, I'd have to imagine you're still pursuing some NFL opportunities, but it's got to feel nice to have that, I guess, security blanket, for lack of a better term.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was looking at. Cause also one of the guys I work out with that's working out for his pro day, his name is Michael Ezike out of UCLA. He also ended up getting drafted that same day.
That's sweet.
So
man.
like I told him about it, but he knows like he has a good chance in the NFL. So when I told him about it, he was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Like, but you could tell like he wasn't as excited type
You
thing.
downplay it a little bit.
Yeah, he was saying it was cool and all that, but I see it as like, as a security, basically. It's like a secure spot. Well, I know I'm still gonna have to work for that spot. Like, dude, I'm gonna have to go through camp and all
100%.
that. But like, it's secured. Like, I have some chance, some opportunity to take advantage of.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still right now working out for a pro day. Hopefully, I can do my pro day at Pittsburgh State, one of my old schools, in Kansas on the 30th. So that's what I'm planning for right now. Because the USFL coaches also wanted me to do a pro day too. So I was like, all right, I can do that. So yeah. Good.
I mean, hey, you said it. I haven't been playing football the longest time, but they got you listed at what, 6'6", 320?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a Hey, it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense.
Yeah, and like, being a basketball player, like I was always like, I grew up always being the bigger kid, and everybody was telling me to play football. So I was like,
You caved.
And my mom didn't want me to play football, so I was just like, about it. I didn't really care. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna keep stay to basketball. But I wasn't like big. Like I wasn't big. I was just like bigger bone type thing. I was always bigger.
He said big bones. Come on.
Nah, like for real though.
All right.
That's how you know his ass is big.
I was tall and just big, so I was like, all right. And I started playing college basketball, and then I met my trainer that I'm training with right now, and he trains a bunch of football athletes, and he was kind of the one that was like trying to motivate me to start playing football. He was like, you might have a better chance with football than basketball, and like regarding my size and everything. So I was like, all right, that sounds good.
I'm gonna say, man, you see it on paper, and then you got to imagine a guy with a basketball background, he can move that weight around, right? So that's really sweet. But we talked about it a little bit, Kate. I think you and I did when we were on the episode last time. But they're playing in Ford Field this year. They got 4 host cities for the USFL. I know you guys, as in the Panthers, and then the Stars will also be out of, I think, Philadelphia Stars will also be out of Ford Field for home games now that the league has expanded. That's gotta be pretty sweet, dude. Talk about like a really cool venue to be a part of. You ever been to Ford Field? I imagine probably not.
No, I've never been, but I looked it up and it looks pretty dope. Honestly.
Hell yeah,
it is dope, bro. I'll tell you right now, it is dope.
I'm gonna say I've been down a few times to cover just like, some high school state championships and stuff. Like walking down that tunnel where the Lions come out and stuff. I think it's underrated. One of the more probably underrated. It gets really NFL stadiums.
Granted, it's NFL, but like it gets loud in there, bro. It's a cool place.
Yeah, and what's really sweet is like you look at what the XFL is doing right now. They just had over 38,000 people at a game. And
I saw that.
That's St. Louis, a town that's been deprived of football for a few years now, and you're not going to have those type of results. But it's got to be sweet to look at a league that's in a very similar situation to what you might find yourself in here very shortly and be like, hey, there could be a decent following around this for a football town in Detroit that all of a sudden is like back into football.
Well, yeah, I guarantee there'll be people there. People down there love football.
They're looking for an excuse to buy tickets to something, right? So I just wanted to ask you about that. Like, I did take a little peek at some of the facilities over at Benedictine, and it's you guys roughing it out a little bit, man. But that's what it's all about. Those lower levels of football, man. That's what it's about. So it'd be pretty sweet for you guys. Now, do you know where you'll end up practicing or anything like that, or you have not had any of those conversations yet?
We haven't really had any conversations like that yet. They said they're gonna keep me updated with everything, but
Gotcha.
right now the main focus they wanted me to do was working on the pro day.
Of course.
But yeah, they're gonna keep me updated with everything like that. But with Benedictine, like honestly, when I got there, I was like, because I didn't take a visit. Like the whole me going NAIA thing was so like it was so, it wasn't planned. It was uncalled for. Like I really was just. And so when I ended up going to the NAIA school, like when I ended up like, I didn't really post it anywhere because I was like, like I was just talking to coaches. I didn't post it on Twitter. I didn't do nothing. So I didn't know nothing about NAIA schools. And then, so when I ended up going over there, I was expecting it to be way worse, but their facilities were actually pretty cool. Like it's not crazy compared to like Pittsburgh State, my old school, but like, that's
a pretty high bar though over there.
Yeah.
They do it right over there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh State is great. Like they take care of the athletes for sure. Like, they try to make it seem like a Division I school over there. So
look at the game day atmosphere. I think that's like one of the areas that you could probably speak on better than I could just from seeing things. But like they shine in that area, and that's something that they take a lot of pride in. Like that walk up to the stadium, like it looks pretty similar to like a South Carolina. If you guys have ever seen that, they do that walk to the stadium.
Pitt State?
Pitt State has something like really similar to that. It's pretty sweet, man.
I haven't seen it.
One of the stadiums that I feel like would be really cool to go see in person. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. You already hinted at it. You didn't start at Benedictine. You talk about, the road to kind of where you're at now. And I saw Pitt State, and that was kind of one of the highlights because I'm trying to be in tune with the D2 scene a lot, and that's a powerhouse D2 team. Now, kind of where I wanted to go with that was how does that compare to the competition you saw this last year at the NAIA level? Like what type of gap was there? Was it as noticeable as you thought it was going to be? Talk about that.
Honestly, the whole like the competition gap was really big. I'd say it was pretty big.
Okay.
Playing at Pittsburgh State, like I felt like I had to work my butt off every game, because like we were also in competition with ourselves too. Like if you mess up, like you're gonna get like moved back and
for sure.
So I was just always like trying so hard like to be the best, like not to make any mistakes in the games because we're playing good defenders. It was really like there was a lot of good D linemen. But then when I got to the NAIA school, like that level, I could say that there were some games where like I felt like the D line wasn't even rushing me. I'm like, bro, like I'm setting and I'm just waiting here and like they're like jogging or something. I'm like, bro, like. Really? There was something like, but that's not every team though. There was just a couple teams.
I hear you.
But like there were some teams that we played that definitely had like D2 like the talent I've played against, like at Pitt State. I definitely had some struggles with some of the guys. Like they were fast, quick off the edge, and they gave me something to play for. Like I wanted to. Like we wanted to go all the way, obviously. So like I was always putting my best effort in. Yeah. But then those games where the D linemen aren't rushing you, it's kind of hard. You're like, dude, like it's not fun. Like I'm over here playing. It felt like I've never played high school, but everybody was like, dude, this feels like a high school game. Like I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that feels like, but I mean, yeah, like
I don't know what that's like, but I mean, sure, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. But I mean,
he's out there tossing dudes.
I was gonna say, dude, at 6'6", I mean 6'6", 320. Yeah. We know some guys that play NAIA and like they're ballers, but like there's a reason obviously that they're playing at that level and they're not at the same thing as us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're in a very similar boat as we're in. I'm 5'9", I run a 4'7", 4'8". Like I'm not nothing that jumps out on paper. You know what I mean? And there's reasons for guys like that, but there are great players at that level too. And I'm sure you saw some of them. You guys made it to the quarterfinals of the NAIA playoffs, lost to looked like Indiana Wesleyan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now they've had a really good squad the last couple of years. That league, which is kind of local to us, that conference has had some really good teams come out of it. What was that trip to the playoffs like? And when you got into the playoffs like that, I had to imagine the competition went just up and up.
Yeah. I could say we fought really hard to get to that spot to get into the playoffs, and we had that settled from like the beginning, from summer workouts. We were saying we're gonna make it all the way, go this, that. That was our goal. So it was cool. Like we worked our butts off to get all the way out there. So it was cool to see that. But then we get to the first game, the first playoff game, and like the competition, it was all right. It wasn't nothing too crazy.
Okay.
But then so I was like, okay, if this is how it's gonna be, I'm like, all right, we can low key get.
We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it was nothing too crazy. But then we get to Indiana Wesleyan next, and then like they were pretty like that's one of the teams I say like they had some good D linemen. Like I'd say they had a couple good D linemen that could probably play at Pitt State. Like honestly, like I really thought it was a pretty good game. Like they were rushing off the edge. The linebackers were good. Their safeties, everybody was good on that team. I say so.
Yeah.
I think it was unfortunate how we lost, but we could have played. We made a few mistakes. We could have played better. But
yeah,
I think it was pretty dope. Like being in that area, like it was also cold too. Like it was.
That was at Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah, it was
in the middle of literally. I took a visit down there, middle of nowhere. Like I mean, middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Like, yeah, I was asleep on the way. Like, yeah, I was asleep. I don't know where we were, but I just remember getting out the bus and I was so cold when we got like in the morning of the game. Like it was so cold, and it was an earlier game. I think we played it like I forgot. Did we play it like 11 or something? We played it 11.
Really?
It was really cold. Yeah,
Playoffs.
It was crazy.
It's just interesting to me, man. I've visited quite a few NAIA. I mean, I was looking at going to play NAIA and ended up coming up here, but to D2. But like, I think NAIA. I don't know if you guys can agree with me on this, but like the variety of there are some top like upper echelon teams in NAIA. There's also the exact opposite, and I think there's so much range in that like different league as opposed to like not to say there aren't good and bad D2 and good and really bad D3 teams. But I feel like there's so much more variety in that NAIA scene for whatever reason. I'm not really sure what it is.
No, yeah, that's facts. Because like the
feel
NAIA school, Olivet,
yeah,
that's from Kinky, like they typically have like pretty good teams. But then like you'll see like from just following college football, you'll be like, man, what the hell? Like when you just see some of the scores, like some scores that happen in like D3 NAIA,
down like crazy.
Like, that's only coming because like that team just is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Ain't got no business being on the field. And I mean, I don't knock nobody for where they play.
Yeah.
But you can see it though sometimes. And like Chim was saying, like it's a skill gap. And to me, I feel like the biggest skill gaps be on the O-line and the D-line. But it's some skill gaps where like that corner cannot guard that receiver on his best day.
Yeah, no matter what he does.
Like he stands no chance.
I feel you.
And I feel like that's when it be like it'd be some teams that just take on anybody, just stragglers. You want to play ball? Come on. You know what I'm saying?
We got an extra helmet and shoulder pads.
Well, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Then I feel like
there are like, there are some teams like, especially in that conference with Indiana Wesleyan that I visited that you look at like a Marion or an Oceana Heights had a couple of really good years, and some of those teams like.
I feel like it's worse with D3 though.
What?
The gap?
Oh,
yeah,
the gap? You think?
Yeah.
That could be true. Because then you look at D3 as a lot of it is like they're just trying to fill beds at some point, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Just trying to get kids to these smaller schools.
I think it's worse at D3 than NAIA because at least at NAIA they get money.
It could be.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The D3 they don't get scholarships.
Yeah, D3 don't get scholarships, so at that point they just out there doing whatever. It's worse at D3, and is the good teams at NAIA can play Division II.
Yeah, agreed.
The good team, like the Wisconsin leagues, they could play D2.
Well, yeah,
but that's because
that's not everybody. Yeah,
that's because they don't have nothing other than Division I of Wisconsin. Yeah. Outside of that, it get ugly.
It's interesting, man. But Chim, appreciate you, man. I told you we wouldn't take too long, man. But appreciate you a ton, bro. This has been fun. I'm excited to see. When is that pro day coming up for you? You got a date?
It's on March 30th.
March 30th. Okay, so you got what? 3 weeks?
Yeah, I got about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
Bet, dude. At Pitt State.
Yeah, it's at Pitt State. It's gonna be at Pitt State.
Okay, man.
We're still like it's not like it's set like, but I still need it because if you're doing a pro day at a different school, you need like scouts to sign off on you. So I'm still working on getting the scouts to sign off, but it's like already set. Like the league officers already confirmed that I can do it there and stuff.
Yep.
So I just getting the scouts to sign off.
Yeah, you're gonna get it done.
That's dope, bro.
You're gonna get it done, Chim. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I'm excited to see where you end up. If it is for the Panthers. Shoot, man, it'd be sweet to go catch a game down in
you'll have some
field.
fans
I'm
up
gonna
here.
say a couple USFL
Yeah,
Panthers fans, dude. That'd be badass. But
that'd be so
like I
dope.
said, man, cannot thank you enough. Thanks for coming on the show, dude.
No, I appreciate you guys for letting me come on here and tell my story, though. I appreciate it, and I have fun. This is awesome. This is awesome. I think it's awesome. This is my first ever podcast too, so I don't know.
Hell yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
It ain't gonna be your last. All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, man. You get a couple scouts sign off on you. We ain't gonna be the only ones reaching out. I promise you that.
That'd be crazy. That'd be
Oh.
crazy for real.
Nah, we'll hit you back up though, man. We'll be following along. Like I said, you got some fans, brother. All right. You have a good night, man.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate
course.
y'all.
We'll see
All
you.
right, bro. Stay smooth, bro. Wishing you the best of
All
luck.
right. Thank you.
So, great talk with Chim, and looking forward to see him hopefully succeed, whether it be USFL, whether it be NFL, even if he gets on a practice squad or something. I think he'll find his way somewhere. You've only played football for 2 years.
It
He's
kind of reminds
6'6",
me
320.
of. Sorry to interrupt, but the Lions had a guy like this come in.
You're talking about Easy.
Yep.
On the Hard Knocks.
Yep. And he's got
He's still
size.
hanging
He's
around.
very raw. Like he's got raw talent. He hasn't been playing football very long. Granted, he did play at a much higher level, but this shit happens. It's not.
I think,
it's
yeah.
not so out of the ordinary.
I would
you know
say,
what
I
mean?
think it's just a show like that does happen pretty often.
Yeah,
Like especially at that position
I mean,
where you
6'6",
can't.
320. You can't teach that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I
You
mean?
can't coach
You
it.
can't coach 6'6", 320.
Yeah. So at that position, when you have those type of, tangibles, I think teams are a little bit more willing to take a chance on you, especially when he has a background in basketball, a sport that we talked to Jake Witt about it. Shoot, and Jake Witt is actually his measurables aren't much far off of that. You know what I mean? It has him by like 20 pounds, but someone like that who we've seen the way Jake Witt can move. And Jake Witt has even less football experience than that. But still, that's something that he's hoping and banking on that a team will take a chance on because of that raw athleticism and the way he's able to move that weight. Now, on to the NFL scene. The biggest news, and we talked about it in the intro a good bit, the Bears. They traded the number 1 pick in the 2023 draft, this year's draft, to the Panthers in exchange for 4 draft picks and DJ Moore from the Panthers, an absurd package.
Please.
And the Bears will receive Carolina's first-round selection at number 9 overall this year, in this year's draft. A late second-round pick, which is number 61. And then you go to next year's draft, they get their first-round pick and a second-round pick. And I just cannot wrap my head around, this is all for what, Stroud?
I guess we really can't say that. Like I said, fleece, but I think about it. Like, imagine they draft. I'm just gonna throw like a random name, like Harry Winslow. You know what I mean? Like that's because we don't know who they're gonna draft.
I mean, I would assume
And he
they're gonna
becomes
get quarterback.
he becomes a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they win 4 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
then it's like, oh shit, they didn't get fleeced. You know what I mean? So we really can't say.
I
but
say right
as
now
of
they got
right now,
fleeced.
yes, right,
Yeah.
correct.
Who are you gonna throw the ball to? I like Terrence Marshall Jr.
Yeah,
He's
you
no
just got-
number
yeah.
one,
You just got rid of DJ
their
Moore.
roster is just so bad.
and it wasn't like that a couple years ago.
I was gonna say
No.
you were just saying. I remember it seems like it was just yesterday
Like,
when you were
on
talking
paper,
about
they
on
had
paper,
a
yeah.
pretty good roster, and then they had Matt Corral. You don't even give him a shot.
That's very true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
He
So,
must have been bad.
They let Sam Darnold walk.
Well, yeah, he just signed a 1-year deal
Cut
with the 49ers.
Baker.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
they're really. I mean,
And Baker's potentially going to Tampa? We
yeah, I
don't
saw
know.
that. Yeah, they say Tampa interested in bringing him
I
in.
really-
as a
Even though
starter.
they're kind of feels like everything out of their camp has
Kyle
been like Kyle
Trask
Trask
is
is
the
the
man.
guy. They believe in him, but now all these Baker rumors are circling.
I don't know. I don't know. For them to say that they don't even know who they're gonna pick, and then they lie with a trade back again.
again,
They trade back. They're
If
gonna
that's
get
true. If
again,
that's
we don't
true.
like.
Yeah.
There's so
bro.
much shit that goes.
They're
on.
gonna get a pick swap and a third. They're gonna get nothing. They wouldn't get the Bears package.
No,
They wouldn't get
Absolutely
a first
not.
next year.
because
Absolutely
people
not.
know that people know they're like they're not. They don't know who they're taking.
I'm
You know
saying
what I mean,
the Bears had all the leverage, and Grant, goddamn it, I didn't think we was gonna get nothing like that. I was hoping and praying.
I really
I'm
think they're
think-
gonna take Stroud though, because Frank Wright has a history of
They got
taller.
to. I don't know.
quarterbacks.
At this point on Twitter, you see everything. They say Stroud. They said they fell in love with Richardson. They were like Levis.
Yeah.
They fuck around. And then everybody just count on Bryce Young. They fuck around and take his little ass. So,
According to a team source, the team officials have conviction on more than 2 of the top quarterbacks. So more than 2 would suggest 3.
they say Reich like Stroud, the owner like Bryce Young.
Okay.
Then there's no telling who. They say they also fell in love with Anthony Richardson at the combine.
So there you go. That'd
So-
be the 3. But
So it's a
they
three-way.
haven't become It's hard, man. It's hard out here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Y'all some freaks.
That's a
man.
flag.
I remember we used
flag.
to be PG-13, friendly, family friendly.
family. Do you say?
you ruined that
Or friendly.
I don't know. We started
still
allowing
sleeping.
F bombs. Now
Anyways.
we done turned
Anyways,
rated R.
they haven't been focused on one of the quarterbacks. They're still early in the evaluation process. I guess they probably moved on a little bit since this was published, but it's very interesting. I don't really understand why they've made this move, but you know
I
what?
get
They
it.
had a top
Right.
they had a top pick quarterback back in 2011 that turned out to be pretty good.
Cameron.
If you, I get why you would do it if you know who you want.
Yeah,
and they
you know
very
what I'm
well
saying?
could. They
Yeah.
very well
Like,
could.
yeah, they may be like, you feel me? We know who we want.
They could be
And
playing everybody's. You know, they could be
to
filling
me,
everybody's
It could be
strings right
smoke and
now.
mirrors.
To
yeah.
me, I think they have to have wanted Stroud because Anthony Richardson would have been there at 9.
Oh, dude, there's no question.
But
like,
then-
you could argue he'll be there later than.
But
9.
then you get that number 1 pick, and it's like, oh shit, you know, like we could take anybody. Like who knows?
that is what the number 1 pick does.
Like I'm saying
Yeah,
like they
that's
could
a fact.
they could be like, oh, we're getting Stroud, and then
then
you
you get
really
there
got
and
the
you like,
number 1
damn,
pick. You're like,
We could
oh,
get
do we?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, you know what I
We
mean?
could
Like,
fuck with Anthony Richardson.
yeah,
But to me, you can't pick Anthony Richardson because you cannot put him out there day one.
no.
Like Anthony Richardson's gonna. To me personally, I think he's gonna go to the Lions. To be honest, because
there's been a
six?
few mock drafts.
you can let him sit behind Jared Goff for a year. You feel me?
He's just so hit or miss. I feel like it's boom or bust.
Agreed.
But fucking athlete, you can't teach.
No, you
can't teach
Nah,
nobody
you
how to
can't.
fucking
He-
run.
But
showed
this
out
this is
at
what
the
I've been
combine.
saying, dude. Turn on 3 tapes. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Who's the
Bryce
best
Young
quarterback?
is the best quarterback.
Okay, so then there you go.
But then you look at the size. There's drawbacks to each of them, right?
But he played in the SEC though, so at that point, I don't
Exactly.
care about no size. He
That's what
played
I'm
in the
saying.
SEC.
And he's two-time national
Torch
champion.
Georgia.
and say
a
he's
Heisman,
played,
like-
played
No, he
against
never
one
won a
of
national
the.
championship.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
did.
did. He won the starter though.
He played though, didn't he?
No, he didn't start.
I
When
thought he
won the
came
national
in and
championship.
I thought he came in and won it. Or that was Tua or some shit, wasn't
I
it?
might be thinking about two.
He won a national championship, but he
But
won. He won the.
I
starter.
like what
Okay.
you had said about the Georgia defense. Like you played one of the best defenses. They were saying one of the best defenses in college
ever, and
football.
he torched
history.
them
Yeah.
twice. You know
That's what I'm saying. So like those are we're seeing how many
He's legit,
NFL
dude.
caliber
Like,
defenders are on that
I don't-
are on that team. So
If
it's
I'm
like,
a GM, I'm taking Bryce Young one over.
Stroud fucking went crazy too.
Oh,
On
yeah.
fucking Georgia, and that game right there, that's what really propelled him because they was
Agreed.
talking about he was
Agreed.
gonna fall to mid round. He done had that good.
But
of a
he was
year.
doing
it was
shit that
because
he
of
hadn't done all year,
It was
dude.
because I think it was because of the Michigan game.
He was
correct?
running rabid,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
He was running all over the place.
Yeah, he was going
The
crazy.
Michigan game kind of tanked Ohio State's season and his draft stock and kind of everything that was involved with Ohio State just took a plunge.
And then
after
he go to
that.
Georgia, and I ain't gonna lie, they should have won that game.
They should have.
Yeah.
They deserve to.
And God damn it, holy hell! But the Bears. I mean,
Hell
now it's
no.
now or never for Justin Fields.
That's true.
To be honest,
Because the thing that like people are saying, like
No
people,
excuses.
as in you and Jimmy, this is Justin Fields' division, and now it's like, okay, he's got DJ Moore, he's got Chase Claypool, he's got so and so, and he's throwing the ball to
Darnell
people.
Mooney.
Darnell Mooney, there you go, and they have these picks now that they can continue to build potentially on the O and D line, and they signed these 2 linebackers. You want to talk about the linebackers now? They get Tremaine Edmonds and
T.J. Edwards.
T.J. Edwards, and now they had to pay. They had to bring out the checkbook for these guys.
they got the money. They
But
wanted
yeah,
to
I
win.
was
that's
say
the
they
thing.
have the cap, and they're still on your roster at the end of the day.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I saw a report that Laramie Tunsil on the trade block and that he going to reset the tackle market. I would trade for Laramie Tunsil. You got the picks. Give him a first round pick next year.
You think so?
They
To me.
dude, they really,
guess it would-
really need O linemen. Like
I guess it would depend on. He says he's trying to reset the market. I mean, how much is he asking for?
I mean,
You're paying him.
you got the money.
probably some absurd amount.
You have the money, and there's nobody like immediately that you gonna have to pay outside of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And even then, Justin Fields can't ask for no crazy amount of money unless he goes absolutely apeshit next year.
Yeah, it's like an MVP candidate. You know what
You know what I'm saying? There's no way he can.
If he has a Jalen Hurts type leap,
you feel me? Then
Yeah.
all right, then
Yeah.
and then you gonna have to pay him what he
Then you're
asked
in
for at
trouble.
that
Then you're
point.
in
like even if he
yeah.
has a year like this, like no.
If he has if he have another year like this, but they fucking winning, 17 touchdowns, 11 picks, but they winning, he can't ask for much.
No.
You
No.
know what I'm saying?
Because then it's like the roster just got better, and that's
Yeah.
what
And
the
by
results
much, I
are.
mean like you're gonna pay him like 170 million,
Yeah.
and not 250 like the
yeah,
Watson.
exactly.
So,
But
and I
it's
mean,
still
if he
gonna-
shit the
yeah,
bed, then he usually a top pick on the quarterback next year. Probably fucking Shadur Sanders or
It'll
Caleb
be
Williams. Or,
it'll be interesting year for
No,
them. now.
Caleb Williams
Another-
going to the Dolphins. Remember?
yeah, right.
I don't know how the hell they're gonna get that fucking pick.
Why would you
All
come
right.
out and say that shit though? Like,
I don't understand any of that.
I don't care where the fuck I play. I want to play in the NFL. You know what I mean?
I mean, but he got leverage though, because he gonna
Yeah,
be the top
yeah,
pick. It
exactly.
ain't like he a fucking third rounder. Yeah, I think I would want to play for the Dolphins.
Who
Nigga,
was the
shut
guy?
up.
Who was the guy that got drafted?
Eli Manning
Okay, that was him.
What,
And he-
that said
and
no,
he didn't
right?
want- and
got
yeah.
drafted by the Chargers. Said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not playing for you."
Uh-huh.
They got traded to the Giants.
Yep.
That's just crazy.
It's real. I mean, but he had that leverage.
You
and now
a
people
selfish,
had that
you a
leverage.
selfish bitch for that.
You really have to be.
You just got to be
really have to
grateful.
be.
You just got to be grateful for the opportunity
He's lucky he's really
that was laid upon you.
He's lucky he had a really good career.
Nigga, you know how selfish you got to be to get drafted? Like,
be like,
I think it was
I'm good.
like the 4th pick. I ain't playing for you. What, nigga? Bro, you crazy as hell. Bro, you crazy. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, if I got drafted to a team right now with Adrian Peterson, Marshall Faulk, and fucking
you had
Jim
to sit,
Brown.
Yeah, you had to sit behind all of them. No matter. I'm signing papers.
Thank you, God, for this opportunity. I'm going to work my best to get on special teams. Nigga, yeah, I'm not playing for you. Trade me. What? You a selfish bitch. I mean, he worked out for him. He probably going to the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying. He's lucky though. He's
God
lucky that
damn it.
worked out for him, or else he would be getting shit on to this day.
Yeah, no, his reputation would have been definitely been tarnished had things not worked out the way that it did. Now,
Shit.
And I like Eli Manning.
Another deal that got done that they didn't have to spend even half the package of that first round pick. Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins. Talk about like chump change, and like the Dolphins got him for cheap, as we're saying. 2023 third rounder, this year's third round pick, and then current tight end Hunter Long.
Never even heard of him.
Never.
But
you might as well trade Moby Dick.
What it was because he wanted. They say he wanted a new deal.
Okay.
And instead of giving him a new deal, they
tried to get whatever they could from him first.
They fully guaranteed. No, the Dolphins, instead of giving him a new deal, they fully guaranteed the rest of his deal.
Oh, interesting.
So either he's going to come back or he's gone after this year.
He's still got 2 years left on his deal.
I did not know that.
God, I wanted the Lions to get him so bad.
They fully guaranteed the last 2 years of his deal because at that point, I don't give a fuck how raw you is. A 30-year-old corner, you're not getting no crazy money.
No, I mean, at the position, right, when you have to match up against some of the
fucking
best
thing about Jalen Ramsey,
that's what's going on with Slate right now.
Jalen Ramsey going to become a safety.
That's what they're saying.
In the back end of his career.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know that he was going to play safety or corner coming out of college. So at that point,
he could play damn near anything.
That's what I'm saying. He going to play safety. So at that point, man, when the time comes for that, it is.
And then when you look at their secondary now, the offense obviously has their, big all-star names, right? And they've had their moments depending on if Tua was conscious or not throughout the season. But
like if you're the Rams,
look at their defense though. Look at their defense though. He joins All-Pro corner Xavier Howard in Miami secondary, and you look at some of the other pieces on their defense
Javon
inside.
Howard,
and Phillips, that Phillips kid from Miami,
trying to think
off the edge.
Jalen Phillips,
he was legit,
Wilkins,
dude.
Wilkins still on the inside.
Christian Wilkins,
yeah, dude. That's scary.
They've really started to put together, like, that seems to be a place where people are going that not that they didn't make a decent run this past year, but they make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Which
is crazy.
This is make or break it for Tua.
And they picked up. This is he's playing on a contract. He's playing on a contract deal too. They picked it up. Yeah.
I personally didn't think we'd see him on the football field again, but
I knew he would. But if one more, he's done. There's no way. There's he can't. That's to the point where it's embarrassing for the National Football League.
If Tua don't perform or if he get hurt again next year,
they signed Mike White.
The Dolphins are going to.
They signed Mike White.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
When?
2 years,
Today.
$16 million.
Yeah,
good for Mike.
That's a great move by Miami.
We thought he was dead after the Rodgers trade. He's alive, and he came back. Man. He came back from the dead.
Big Cat just tweeted and said, "Rip Mike White."
Yeah.
He's back, dude.
For what reason? I don't know.
On the third day, he rose again. He back.
Bro. But that's a safe, smart pick by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Considering his injury history and considering the dog shit quarterback play they had behind him, that's a safe pick.
That's a good point, too.
Because Skylar Thompson, if he was okay, they'd have won a playoff game.
Yeah.
If he was half decent and could complete a pass,
you know what he looked like?
They'd have beat the Bills in fucking Buffalo in the NFL playoffs.
You know what he reminded me of? Remember we played Saginaw and the wide receiver converted to quarterback?
And them niggas was just running the ball the whole game. That nigga couldn't throw shit.
That's what I'm saying. He reminded me of him, dude.
That nigga couldn't throw a bubble.
The kid's a great athlete, but
yeah, but you can't just hop in and play quarterback.
Exactly. He reminded he looked like a wide receiver playing quarterback.
He was out there.
He was.
That shit was.
No, I'm talking about Thompson.
Oh, you're talking about Scott. Yeah, okay. You're right. You're right.
Bro, I'm watching the game. I'm like, what the heck? I'm in the airport. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm watching the game. I'm like, yeah, they beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, this game might be over.
Bro, I fly from Georgia to Detroit. The Dolphins are winning. I'm like, hell no. And then at the end of the game, I don't think that nigga completed a pass in the last quarter and a half.
Go.
That shit was terrible.
We can move on, though. We talked Chicago. We talked some other things. Stay in the DB market, though. Detroit, they had been, at least rumored at like being interested in the Ramsey conversation or the Slay conversation, bringing him back. He had been so outspoken about how he seemed to like Detroit, but
he loves Detroit.
It was the coaching situation.
And then how dumb are the Eagles, dude?
Yeah.
They hire Fat Matt as their linebackers coach?
Yeah.
That guy should be serving me my McChickens when I go to McDonald's. That's what he should be doing. He fucking blows.
He looks like he's on the other end of that drive-through more often than not. But
well, there goes our Matt Patricia feature.
But
we lost one follower.
It was interesting to see that because the Lions were rumored to kind of be a part of those talks. Then they go and make this deal seemingly out of nowhere with Sutton. And the more you read into that, now again, they paid him. What was it? 2 years, 33
3
mil?
years, 33 mil.
Yep,
which I don't hate. It's only like 22.5 guaranteed.
It's not bad. After the year that he's coming off of for Pittsburgh, like that is.
The city of Pittsburgh loved him too. They were like begging the front office to.
I mean, he's going to play a ton of snaps for the Lions, and like knock on wood, but he's a guy that has been extremely healthy and has been available. Like he does not miss games.
The best ability is availability.
Exactly, and that's something that our secondary, I think, in particular, has been lacking. I think it's safe to say like there's some playmakers back there in Detroit secondary, but
Jeff Okudah is nice. His ass just can't stay on the field.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro. He can't get in the rhythm, dog.
Inconsistent.
He can't get in the rhythm.
Inconsistent because you're, often here and then like just their availability. Like there's two things: inconsistency when you're young and availability. Just being
like
out there.
I even think Jerry Jacobs could be like a good corner in the NFL.
But
like,
again,
he really
has gone
could.
through some big time injuries and has not seen a consistent play. But he's shown those flashes. We've had other guys. You know what I mean? Like in that secondary that have done the same thing.
Like Amani needs to get a plane ticket to Shanghai. He needs to get out of here. But
yeah.
He was nice a couple years ago.
Kirby Joseph and make some big plays. Like you have to see what kind of leap he makes. I'm just saying defensive backfield.
And then we get Tracy Walker back next year. Yep. We still have Deshaun Elliott, whatever he's doing. I don't know what he's doing, but
I don't know. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Just signed Bugs back
and Anzalone.
So
we're not signing with Jamal Williams back because we just signed Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
He's gonna get highly overpaid and just not be good. I'm telling you, Jamal Williams.
Because Jamal Williams wasn't that good to me, anyways.
Because you get the ball at the 1 yard line every time.
Yeah, Austin Eckler type.
Not
different style.
Yeah,
but same
you feel me?
Yes,
like, bro. Like when you think about, when he was getting hyped up. I'm like, all right, don't get me wrong. He a cool character.
Yeah.
And it was, you know what I'm saying? But like,
well, it's great for the NFL
for you
narrative.
to be.
You know what I mean? It's great for their narrative.
It's business at the end of the day.
And that's what it is.
And he bring in a younger audience because he talk about Naruto and Pokemon and stuff like that.
True.
So I'm not mad at him. And I like him as a person. I think he's a really good person.
Because it seems like
I think he's a decent football player.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't better than DeAndre Swift.
I love Jamal Williams. You know what I mean? I love him. I love Jamal Williams.
He going, like he said, he going to get a lot of money, and he's not going, unless you keep giving the ball in the 1 yard line, he's not going to be able to reproduce what he just gave.
He's not a 3-down back.
Agreed. I mean, from a media standpoint, like he's the guy that you want to be the face of that team that was so up and coming. You already have guys like Dan Campbell that's been a face of that, but
he fit in so
like you
well.
said, like
when you got a quarterback like Jared Goff who's not going to tell you nothing, you get a running back like Jamal Williams who's going to give you everything you're looking for.
Exactly. He's he broke Barry's record. He did all these, and then he's like,
and then where would he even go?
Clown in the media. That's a great question.
I guess like maybe Buffalo. No, you wouldn't go to Green Bay. They got AJ Dillon
and Aaron Jones.
And they was going to cut Aaron Jones.
Yeah, what the hell?
That would have been the dumbest shit ever. Like,
I didn't realize you brought Reynolds back.
Yeah, I think it was like a shithole contract, but
well, yeah, I mean, he's a decent back though. Like he's a serviceable
good special teams player too.
He is, and then like worst case, you still have.
He runs the ball freaking hard.
He does,
dude.
and you still have Swift. Like Swift again is someone who like you. I'm not still 100% sold on. But
he got
like,
all the talent. He just got to put it together.
Exactly.
Bro, he just sometimes he prances around out there, dude.
His decision making is questionable. Sometimes,
and again, I like Swift a lot. Like he has so much. His ceiling is so high, dude. He has not reached his full potential. You've seen the runs he has, man. You've seen the catches, the get up off the floor, hurdle. You know what I mean? Like he has athleticism. The talent is through the roof.
Yeah.
But like
they went 9-5 in the games that he started.
Yep. So it's like.
Yeah, I'd like to see how many carries he had each of those, though. That's the question. His load management has been interesting, to say in the least.
And I hope, I really hope he's healthy because we need a healthy DeAndre Swift.
We do. Garoppolo to the Raiders. What was it? A 3-year deal worth
3 years, $64 million.
$64 million, which, grand scheme of things, the quarterback market, that's not crazy.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
That's a team-friendly deal.
That's a guy who's going to come in there and be your starting quarterback, obviously, and like you're not paying him an arm and a leg to do it.
So he goes from...
I think it was 44 guaranteed, correct?
Yeah.
San Francisco to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It is.
How about that?
I mean, it's. I'm gonna talk about it when we get to the other quarterback, but it's a good deal for Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think so. I think so.
I think
And
it's a
it could be
solid
good
deal
fit.
both ends.
I think so too. And I think
He's
the Derek Carr deal, you could say they're almost the same thing. I think.
Derek Carr is an asshole.
Really?
Yeah. Because he blocks
Where did that come from?
He blocks a trade to the Saints just to sign with them in free agency. So the Raiders wouldn't get no compensation back.
Is that what he did?
Well, they did kind of hoe him.
They was trying to trade
You know
him.
what? He's being petty because of the whole kind of kick him out of the building situation.
He blocked it. Yeah, I'm not playing for
Because he
New
probably
Orleans.
That's
so
why-
he had a no trade clause.
That's why I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
those
no
no
trade-
trade clauses, dude.
Yeah, I'm not playing for them. So all right, we got to cut you just to sign with the Saints. He the biggest dickhead ever. I mean, I like it. Good for him.
I'm
But that shit was funny, and I didn't realize it until like a couple days ago.
But I like him.
He was signing.
I
I'm
love
like,
his ass.
bro, this nigga blocked the trade from them, and now he's signing with him.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
So yeah, since he had the no trade clause, he was just looking for a
He
way
had
to
met with,
kinda-
he had
Hey,
met with the Saints.
The
He was trying to
Saints
get
could-
back.
Dude, I was high in the Saints this year, which was dumb of me, but like they really
Jameis
could
got
be
hurt.
very good.
Jameis, I got hurt, bro.
Yeah.
They really could be very good.
That's all it was. Jameis got
You could
hurt.
say that about a lot of people, but let's finish off free agency here before we talk a little about XFL. Lamar, franchise tagged, and the Ravens cut Calais Campbell. A couple moves from there.
They
from
gave
their
him the
camp.
non-exclusive tag,
That's
so-
right.
Which means-
That's right.
so he could get offered
Oh,
from.
and they
and
can
then they
offer.
have to
They can
match
match
They
the
can match
sheet,
it, or they
right,
get two
right.
first-round picks.
I did see that.
No team is going to offer Lamar Jackson.
Apparently not, dude. Apparently
And
not.
Now, to me, it's not that. I personally feel like no team is going to offer him because they just think that Baltimore are going to match it. So why even? You feel
Why
me?
even try?
Why try it? But, bro, the
Because
Raiders
then
just signed
you have
Jimmy
to-
Garoppolo.
You have to think about the optics too of something like that. Like, say, give me a theoretical team that would, people are saying we're potentially going to go after Lamar.
The Falcons. That was like the betting favorite.
Yeah, but then like when you do that,
The Lions were
you have to think about.
30 to or 1 to what was it? 30 to 1 plus 300.
But think about the optics of a move like that, right? If you were to go do that, what does it say about your current situation and how confident you feel about your current situation in your building, right?
Well, the Falcons don't have a quarterback, so
That's different. That's different. That's different. Desmond Ritter is calling. Actually, he'd
entered
like to
the
have
jet.
a word.
He'll leave pretty quick.
Yeah, did you watch him play a football game this
Yeah, I
year? He's
did.
not the answer.
Surprised they fit a helmet over his cranium.
He got a
got a
Peyton
big ass
Manning size
noggin,
nugget.
dude.
he got a Peyton Manning joint.
Yeah, no, Falcons are different. But like those other teams that they had mentioned who have like semi-established quarterbacks,
Like the Dolphins,
Yeah.
the fucking
like there's
The
just-
Raiders
that's
before
just-
Jimmy G.
exactly. That's
The
just
Saints
bad
before Derek
optics.
Carr. Like
but like to me, like it don't make sense because like these are all the same teams that was bending over backwards for Deshaun Watson. And
That's
you
the
knew
hard
what Deshaun
part.
Watson
Yeah,
had going on.
That's the hard part.
and
about
y'all
it.
bending over backwards to try to trade for him.
I don't understand all this, dude. It's just so
And
weird.
now Lamar, to me, in
My-
the end, this is fucking the Ravens because he's not gonna play on a franchise
No.
tag.
You don't think so?
Fuck no. He didn't even play in a playoff
yeah,
game.
he let freaking Tyler Huntley go out there
He
and
didn't even play
let
in a
the boys
playoff
do
game. He's not going to play on a franchise tag. And it's not like a running back where like, oh damn, you're gonna lose your juice.
Mm.
He's back there to throw the ball. The running is just a fucking super plus. The
think-
Ravens are either going to have to pay him whatever he asks for, or he's gonna leave.
Yes.
And he's going to walk scot-free because
We
there's
might
no
not see Lamar Jackson on a football field this next year.
like there's no like, you feel me, just keep franchise tagging a player. You get one of those.
Mm.
Once you tag him, it's over with. Now you gotta sign him to a deal or he gonna walk scot-free.
I think there has to be something else going on.
They say
'Cause this
collusion,
amount
too.
Yeah.
They say collusion because they don't want to. They say the Browns fucked it up for the NFL by giving Deshaun Watson $250 million fully guaranteed.
They did.
That's the kind of deal that Lamar Jackson looking for because he's better than Deshaun Watson.
So why should he
So
pay any
theoretically,
less?
he should be getting more money than Deshaun Watson.
And that I still remember that deal. Like talking about that deal is just
Oh my
ridiculous.
god!
And it doesn't make any
and the whole
sense.
$1
But
million
still-
guaranteed the first year was just like so sketchy, dude.
Yes,
like,
dude.
His cap hit for
And-
the next 3 years consecutively is $64 million.
Are you shitting me?
I am not shitting you.
How much cap space are the Browns gonna have? How
And
many
they
salary
still
cap do they
suck.
have?
They restructured I don't know how the fucking cap space work. I don't know how cap room works in the NFL.
It's like
they
fake
restructured
number.
the
It's
deal.
like a fake number, dude.
They restructured the deal to give themselves $36 million in free money this year to use in free agency. His cap for the next 3 years is $64 million.
I don't know how they do it, man.
Me neither.
I don't.
But that shit with Lamar Jackson is fucked up. Like the Raiders,
We
like,
might
why
not
would you
see
not
him,
even?
dude.
Why would you not give him an offer?
Or call, like give him a fucking reach
Like
out.
they was all like, as soon as it said Lamar Jackson signed a non-exclusive tender, it just reports out the ass. The fucking Falcons social media team liked the tweet.
I did see that.
The
I saw
Falcons
that.
will not be pursuing Lamar Jackson. What the fuck?
Something's going on, dude.
Yeah, they say collusion. To me, I feel like
Something has to be going on extra behind the scenes. Like, there's got to be something. I don't know what the hell it is.
I don't think it's collusion, but I think the owners are in agreement. Like, we not giving out a deal
That's
like
exactly
that ever
what they're
again.
doing. There was a because
So I
there
mean, I
was
guess it is collusion.
Yeah, it might.
so.
Yeah, that
they
is
don't want.
collusion.
This is the thing. This is my theory.
But-
All right, this is my theory. The NFL owners had a meeting right before Lamar got franchise tagged, and right before the Daniel Jones got his big ass contract, and one more quarterback got his big ass contract. I forgot who it was, but I guarantee they're in there. Oh, Geno Smith. It was Geno Smith who got it too.
But he didn't get a big, dumb, stupid
Nothing
ass deal.
crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Geno
Daniel Jones,
Smith
he got paid.
over
It wasn't
180 mil. Come on,
He got 180 million? Fuck it.
4 years. Was it 4 years?
175 million.
For 4 years.
Geno fucking Smith.
That is crazy money for him.
And I guarantee. I don't guarantee. It's my
You guarantee?
It's my theory.
Yeah.
They're saying we're not doing these fully guaranteed shit anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
And
got
there's
3 years, 105 million.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
where
okay,
you get
never
that
mind.
180
That ain't-
from.
I'm like, 180?
That was
Fuck
crazy.
no, nigga. That's like Kyler Murray money.
But they're this is my theory. They're colliding to say we're not doing this fucking
They're
fully
colliding?
guaranteed shit anymore. You know what I
Colliding.
mean? Like we're not doing this shit anymore. It's ruining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ruining the NFL. It's ruining
I
the
mean,
salary cap.
that Browns deal just threw a wrench in everything.
And the Giants and Pete Carroll were like, you know what? Screw you guys. We're doing our own thing. We're giving these guys money. And then the rest of them are all coots with it.
No, it was more like this. We like Geno, man. We like Geno. We're gonna pay him.
I mean, he did great things for us. He wrote him off. He didn't write back. We're gonna write him a check for 105 million.
We're gonna write back in the form of 105 big
But
ones.
Yeah.
I feel like it's part of me want to be like it's because they know the Ravens gonna match whatever.
Yep.
But a part of me is like them niggas is colluding because this is an MVP in a prime of his
On
career,
God.
and you're not even gonna offer him a. But I mean, at
A
the same
unanimous
time,
MVP.
they know that shit, nigga. He gonna be a free agent next year.
Yep.
And it's gonna be free game. So that I feel like maybe they like we
That's
can
what
wait
I'm saying,
a year.
dude. I don't know that we
So-
see Lamar Jackson on a football field next year.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt
And
it.
that would be terrible for the game of football.
It would be bad. The one thing that we've already seen is that the XFL had a big turnout this weekend. That's what
Yes.
we've seen.
Yeah, with
Maybe
the
Lamar
Justin
Jackson
Herbert
goes to
jersey
the
on.
XFL.
Hey, wow.
Holy shit.
Wow. You
They
know
give
what?
him like 400 mil.
Let's get him in a Battlehawks uniform. Check out this stadium, boys. The Battlehawks in St. Louis, they broke the league attendance record with 38,310 fans
That's wild.
at the Dome at America's Center in downtown St. Louis.
It would be people on the top of the dome. They would be hanging from the rafters to watch Lamar Jackson play.
You see that American flag right
Bro,
there?
you get, if the Battlehawks is like Lamar
They would be-
Jackson,
hey, they
we
would
got
be-
6 years,
they would be-
800
They'd
million.
be monkey barring by the USA flag trying to
If
watch
Lamar
him.
Jackson signed with the XFL, the NFL would be fucked because it would be because now you gotta that would automatically level the playing field.
Dude, I mean, that scene, though. Look at that scene. That is incredible, actually.
Who wouldn't want to play there? Lamar, come on.
Dude. Show,
That look like fucking MetLife.
that'd be their pitch. Dude, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson comes in. He's got a printed out picture of this. He's got a mock up of the Lamar in the Battlehawks uniform.
And
They're
he
decent
got-
uniforms, by the way.
And he got the whole Black Adam. He got the whole Black Adam revenue in a suitcase.
And he just puts it all on the table.
You want to be a Battlehawk?
What do you say?
And sign LJ8.
No more being number 53
LJ
on the
era.
roster.
And now a new era has
And
started
he would
in
also
the
have,
XFL.
with the deal, he would have a little bit of his Terramana. He'd throw that down, and then a couple Zoas, his energy drinks. He has to have the branding deal and everything. So that would be on the table as well. He'd give Lamar a few sips,
And a
snap a
WWE
couple pictures,
championship.
and a belt. Definitely a belt.
And that little like look he does, you know that little,
Yeah,
Lamar.
yeah.
I
Wanna
would
play for
sign the
Battlehawks?
fuck out of that contract. Fuck the NFL. Bleep that out. I got dreams.
Oh, but seriously though, like this is so sweet. This scene is so sweet. I got one more picture here to pull up that gives you a little bit of a different
That's
view.
how it's supposed to be. People probably be too much. Man, I ain't going to that game.
Look
Nigga, football,
at that,
professional
dude.
football is professional. Like, nigga, that like the Super Bowl.
That is crazy,
Had
man.
I told you that was the Super Bowl, you'd be like, damn, that bitch cracking. You only wouldn't know because, like, that's where the stands end.
I
They don't
didn't-
go, like, 6 rows.
I
Like,
didn't know that the NFL changed to an X.
they call it the Super Bowl, Super X Bowl.
Dude, Dude, but I mean, this just had me pumped up. I only watched a little bit of the game between them and the Renegades. Battlehawks ended up winning. They improved, I believe 3-1 on the year, and they're having a pretty solid year behind. Why am I blanking? McCarron.
Oh.
No, Agent McCarron,
McCarron.
right? So he's been the one that's been balling
The
out.
only thing that they got to do now is like,
What do they have to do? XFL, you mean?
yeah, the XFL. The XFL is going to be better than the USFL.
I mean, there's no chance. Like, there's no chance the USFL breaks this. But you never know.
The XFL has to start
Our boy
like
Chim gets there,
getting
it will.
players out of college now.
Yeah,
And not get so many like, because the only thing that I don't is a lot of washed up niggas who can't play no more.
they can't play in the NFL.
No, can't play there, nigga, and they look bad. Like them niggas look bad out there.
I was trying to save. I was trying to he just doubled down.
No, nigga, they can't play
But
there.
that's why I like the USFL's idea of this college
bring
draft.
it because it's gonna look fresh. Like you get a mix of like youth and experience. It's just a bunch of old niggas out there.
But what's tough about that is, like we talked about earlier, like you have to, it puts a lot of stress on these guys because, you have to put a lot of emphasis on the fact that these are the guys that we think are good enough to play here, but aren't good enough to get in the NFL. And there's that gray area. And I think that's so hard to determine. There's so many talent evaluators out there and whatever. And there's so many guys, such a volume of guys. And I feel like it would be so hard and so taxing to just employ that many people to try and find talent like that. Whereas this talent pool, so much easier to find. Can you kind of understand where I'm kind of getting at with that, though?
So my thing with that is, like what AJ McCarron said, I could play here or I could be a backup somewhere else.
Yeah.
Nigga, you start offering people contracts and you start offering them money, bro.
Yeah.
And
gonna
nigga,
play.
you gonna come here and you gonna play and you gonna be the man. A lot
They
of
take
people
pay cuts. A lot of people take pay cuts.
A
for
lot
that.
of people be like, you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm here to support my family. The NFL paying the bills and running down as a gunner is paying the bills.
True.
But there's a lot of people who doing this shit for the love of the game and just want to play ball. They go take a pay cut to go play there.
And he's doing both.
Nigga, if every
they
other
keep
stadium
that-
start looking like that, nigga,
Dude, their
Bro.
contracts might.
we gonna start seeing AJ McCarron re-signs with the Battlehawks for 2 years, $15 million.
Yeah,
That would be something.
that'd be a
would-
step.
that would
That'd be a
sick,
great
dude.
step.
Because they bringing
Could you
in,
imagine?
bro. That's crazy money, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy money, and it's a fun league. It's a. I'm telling you, bro.
And
If
then
they start pulling them college players, bro, it's gonna get ugly.
Then you bring in players like a Josh Gordon or something that you're going to drive up with some
the
jersey sales and
USFL
stuff.
nigga need to fucking give up and join the XFL. Just
The
make
USXFL.
USF XFL.
Yeah,
nigga
I messed that one
XFL.
up. Just
God damn it, just XFL. No, that other shit, and let them keep their teams and all of that, bro. Bro, that should be crazy. That shit would be crazy.
but the whole thing with the whole
that bitch cracking.
the whole thing
That's
is
cracking.
the whole thing with the USFL is just getting more opportunities. You know what I mean? Like,
Nigga, they get an opportunity.
no, I'm saying like if you combine into one league, then there's just less spots.
Yeah, but the market, I mean, spring football.
No,
you
it
could,
ain't. It's the same teams.
You could argue that like the spring football market with two leagues is going to be oversaturated.
You feel me? Like it's
That
gonna
only
One
one
of
will
them's gonna
survive.
take over,
Exactly.
correct.
Only
because
one will
nigga,
survive.
Right.
you're gonna be watching the game and not knowing what fucking league it is.
Some people probably will. A lot of people, really. A lot of people
What the
because they're
fuck
not
is this?
familiar with
Is this the XFL or the US? I don't know. I don't know which one it is. You only know that because it's a XFL in the middle
Yeah.
of the fucking turf. But like,
I thought it was a Super Bowl.
you can buy.
I thought it was a Super Bowl. So
that
I-
bitch cracking.
I
You
tell.
couldn't tell no difference. If you combine the leagues, bro, and you just add what is it? Ain't it 8
AJ
teams in each
McCarron's in
league?
the Super Bowl.
It's 8 teams in each league.
I take my
Bro,
medicine.
have the fucking USFL as their own conference. The XFL is their own conference. Oh,
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Come on, bro. They come together at the end of the fucking year. That's gonna bring
8 teams in each league.
Come on,
16
bro.
team league.
4
Dude,
teams.
Mix it up for the playoffs. Get a little cross division for the
Come on,
playoffs.
dog.
Sponsor D1 Rejects.
What? D1
Come
Rejects
on, dog.
be the title sponsor for the playoffs and the championship game.
And color commentary. You got us up there fucking off.
Pause.
Run that by me again.
Fucking off, bro. Fucking around. Playing around.
We'd be like McAfee and the
That nigga
boys.
just mossed his ass. Come on, bro. You telling me NBC don't want to hear that? Damn. You know what I'm saying?
We'd be like
they gonna love that
Nickelodeon
shit.
without the animations.
Over under on if we would last a quarter or not.
Bro,
We get the mics pulled within a quarter.
nigga, I'm talking about.
I'd have a producer in my ear.
First-
you need to get these two to be quiet.
Nigga, first
He sucks.
first
No, he
commercial
doesn't.
break, I'm gonna be back on the sidelines watching the game. Cause I didn't say a nigga.
Stress.
He just sacked the shit out that nigga. Whopper, 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 whopper. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Niggas with the commercial break mid play. He just mossed that nigga. Whopper, 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 whopper. At BK. Well, we sent Tyshawn down to the sideline to get some inside scoop.
He's now carrying the ball to the Battlehawks.
He's actually got signed mid-game.
like the pitcher.
Oh, somebody get a camera down there. Look at Tyshawn is going into the blue tent with a pen and paper.
They ruled me off. I ain't right back. I ain't right back,
He's
though.
holding it
Go
up.
Battlehawks.
He's holding it up to the cameras like.
Tyshawn King just got rock bottom.
Because you won't have a microphone, so you can just, I told y'all. I told y'all.
And that shit crazy.
That's funny.
I'm rooting for the XFL.
Me too. Fuck the USFL. Ass.
Nah.
just shit on
After
the
we just talked to
Fuck
Chim.
the USFL.
After we just talked to Chim, too.
No, man. No, they got to combine the leagues, though. Because
That'd be sick. That'd be so
bro,
sick.
it would be over with, bro. It would be, nigga, spring football would really be cracking.
Yeah.
It'd be cracking for sure. Like, it would be no denying it.
Regardless,
when
regardless, it's good for the sport of football.
We was watching USFL when XFL was fucked up. We was like, damn, XFL played like 3 games. Was like, yeah, we can't do this shit no more.
They packed that shit up.
That was COVID. That was
we watching
COVID.
USFL. We like, all right, this bitch cracking. This shit decent. All right, we ain't playing this year. What? All right.
That was XFL was COVID. That
Now
was
we
the
got
deal.
both these niggas at the same time, bro. It's gonna be like, damn, who the fuck am I watching, bro? Y'all playing, bro. We used to be family friendly, bro. We used to be
Says
PG-13.
you, bro.
Says you fucking off.
Y'all crazy, bro.
Up.
Anyways,
We in the booth.
The Rock, hit me up if you need color commentary and a running back at the same time.
Running back. You got the mic on. I'm gonna hit the B gap right here. I'm gonna stiff arm this motherfucker.
So we got 41 load right here. Oh, made him look stupid. Dumbass. I'm gonna go all the way. Should I gritty? I'm gonna gritty.
That's all for this episode of
Man, it was
D1R
fun to be back in
Rechecks.
here.
Episode 89. Thank you for sticking with us. It's been a fun one, and we'll be back hopefully this Friday. But until then, we'll see you.